The city was alive with stories, tales whispered behind closed doors, shuddered at in dimly lit cafes, and shared cautiously among students. Among these stories, the most haunting one was about the Mirror Man, a figure said to haunt the abandoned subway station at the edge of town. No one knew exactly where the legend originated, but everyone had heard at least one version of it, often dismissing it as mere urban myth. That was, until Lily decided to find out for herself. It was a chilly October evening when Lily and her friends, Matt, Sarah, and Jamie, set out with flashlights, their nerves tingling with a mixture of excitement and dread. The sun had long since dipped below the city skyline, leaving behind a shadowed metropolis. The old subway entrance, shrouded in graffiti and thick vines, was tucked away behind a chain-link fence near the outskirts of town. Lurking beneath a crumbling concrete archway, it looked like a portal to another world, one that whispered promises of revelation and horror. "Are you sure about this?" Matt asked, eyeing the dark tunnel with unease. "Come on," Lily said, her voice trembling slightly but filled with determination. "It's just an old station. The legend is just a story." Jamie hesitated but then nodded. "We've come this far. Let's see what's inside." They pushed past the rusty fence, the metal groaning beneath their weight. The air was thick with dust, the scent of decay. Their flashlights flickered as they descended the cracked steps, each footstep echoing eerily in the underground silence. The station platform stretched out before them, a place frozen in time, lined with cracked tile and faded advertisements. Shadows pooled in corners, and a faint draft stirred the air. Suddenly, a faint, cold whisper brushed past them. They froze. The whisper grew clearer, indistinct, garbled, but enough to send shivers down their spines. "Who's there?" Sarah called, her voice trembling. They shined their lights down the tunnel, revealing nothing but empty tracks stretching into darkness. Yet, as they moved deeper, the whispering persisted, but now, it felt closer, more insistent. Then, out of the shadows, a figure appeared. Tall, gaunt, draped in tattered clothing, with a face obscured by a broken, cracked mirror held in a skeletal hand. The Mirror Man. The legend came alive. He moved with a strange, jerky gait, as if stitched together from torn fabric and twisted metal. His eyes, visible through the cracks in the mirror, glinted with malevolent intelligence. Suddenly, he raised the mirror, angling it so that they could see their own reflections, and yet, something was wrong. Their faces twisted in horror, distorted by the cracked glass, their own images warped into terrifying visages. "Run," Lily whispered, voice quivering. The others didn't need telling twice. They turned and sprinted back toward the stairs. But the station seemed to shift around them. Walls seemed to close in, the tunnel stretching endlessly. Every time they looked back, the Mirror Man was closer, his cracked mirror reflecting their fears back at them. His hollow eyes stared through the fractured glass like a predator hunting prey. Lily's heart pounded fiercely. She remembered the stories. The legend said that the Mirror Man appears to those who enter, feeding on their terror, trapping them forever in the reflection. Whether true or not, she refused to be caught. She grabbed Jamie's arm, urging him forward, and they burst out of the tunnel, gasping for air under the night sky. They didn't stop running until they reached the safety of Lily's house, panting and trembling. Behind them, the dark entrance sat silent, as if nothing had happened. But Lily couldn't shake the feeling that they had seen something, or someone, watching from the shadows behind the mirror. The next day, they met at Lily's house, trying to process what they'd experienced. That's when Matt noticed equipment, the cracked mirror still poking out of his backpack. Curious, he held it up to the afternoon light. The glass was dusty and cracked, but as he peered into it, his reflection flickered and warped. Then, a faint glimpse of the cityscape. No, something different, something darker flickered behind his reflection. The mirror showed a twisted version of their world, with dark streets and shadowed figures lurking just beyond the glass. Terrified, they threw the mirror away, but since that night, Lily had noticed small things, her reflection sometimes moving independently, her own eyes lingering a second longer than they should in the mirror's surface. Sarah reported hearing whispers coming from her closet, even when no one was there. Jamie claimed he saw the Mirror Man's reflection standing behind him in the mirror during a video call. They tried to forget, to dismiss it as hallucinations, but the stories persisted. A legend come to life, feeding off their fear, waiting patiently in the darkness, and now, it wanted more. One night, Lily woke to a whisper just outside her window. She looked out into the quiet street, heart pounding hard. There, standing across the street, just outside the reach of her flashlight's beam, was a tall figure, shrouded in tattered garments, holding a broken mirror like a dark mirror to her soul. Despite every instinct telling her to run, she found herself drawn closer, the whispers beckoning her with promises of understanding, of seeing the truth behind the legend. In that moment, the city's shadows swallowed her entirely, and Lily realized, some stories aren't meant to be told, some legends aren't just stories. Because when you gaze into the mirror of the urban night, you might just see something staring back that was never meant to be seen, and it's watching, waiting quietly for the next to enter its shadowed domain.